Barron V Baltimore, 1833. Construction in Baltimore led to a series of rivers being rerouted, causing large amounts of sediment to collect at Barron's Wharf. A wharf is basically a place where ships dock so they can unload their goods and reload goods. And this led to his wharf being ultimately unusable as the area became too shallow for ships to dock. Barron lost his business due to the city's construction, so he sued the city in 1822 for compensation, pleading it was against his Fifth Amendment right. Now, I know when you think of Fifth Amendment right, you think of the right to remain silent, but there's more to the Fifth Amendment than just that. Another one of the things being under the Fifth Amendment right being the taking clause, which states, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Barron asked for $20,000 but received $4,500. The money was then recollected and Barron was told to file a secondary hearing with the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled that they would not be held liable as the Fifth Amendment was not applicable in this situation. The reason being that the Bill of Rights only applies to the rights that are overseen by the federal government. So if it was the federal government who came in and took his land, then they would have been like, okay, we see your point, it is against your Fifth Amendment right, but it wasn't us, it was your state government. So the government didn't want to overstep the state government, so they were just like, hey man, sorry, it's your problem. Now, a lot of you guys are probably thinking, well, if it was something that's in the Bill of Rights, why does state government get to just pretend like it's nothing they have to do with? And that's because during this time, we went under the process of dual federalism, which is a system of governance where the federal government and the state government each have clearly defined spheres of power. So in government, they like to call it the layer cake federalism. So it's divided into three sections. You can see the bottom section is your local government, the middle section is your state government, and the top section is your federal government. And each of them are divided with this layer of icing. You know, it's just the way that it can be simplified down into terms that everybody can understand. They never really intertwine. They don't intertwine or mix. Neither one steps on the other's toes. And why is this case relevant? Barron v. Baltimore was a key case in the creation of the 14th Amendment, which forbids the states from depriving any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, and from denying anyone equal protection under the law. So this is a big deal because this is during Reconstruction. The 13th Amendment was just ratified, freeing the slaves. The 14th Amendment was ratified, saying that they have the right to life, liberty, or property with due process of law, you know. And during this case, Barron v. Baltimore was brought up a lot during the creation of the 14th Amendment, especially with the liberty or property without due process of law. His property was seized, and they were kind of reevaluating their verdict on that. And another big reason they only used Barron v. Baltimore was because of the verdict of Barron v. Baltimore. A lot of cases didn't make it up to the Supreme Court level because the state legislature was just like, nope, Supreme Court already ruled once that we have say in that area, absolute say in that area, and that's just how it is. So a lot of them didn't get up to there. So if a state violated the Bill of Rights, it was just overlooked. And a quick look at how state and federal governments differ. The Texas Constitution had 516 amendments, and this is currently the 7th version, whereas there's only one version of the U.S. Constitution that has 27 amendments. In the Constitution, the preamble, it says in order to create a more perfect union. You know, the Constitution knew that it was flawed and that it would need to add amendments, but as of right now, 27 have been ratified and 33 have made it almost to ratification, 27 of which being ratified. The Texas Constitution has 516 amendments. If you really think about that, that's how many different amendments to correct old amendments to carry forth with the law, and how much more complex that is than just the U.S. Bill of Rights. And this is the 7th version, which I believe was created after Reconstruction. So just think about that and how much different that is than the U.S. Constitution, and how much states probably played the law in their favor.